Hello, welcome to Lemon Series, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 5. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share and leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, Episode 5 was not able to do Episode 4. One, I completely forgot it was coming out on Friday. And I didn't get to watch it until Saturday or Sunday. I think I probably watched it late Saturday night is when I actually sat down and go, oh my God, the episode's out, because I saw some other people's reviews on it. And by that point, I just didn't think, there was any viewership for it at that point, because usually you only have maybe a 24-hour window after the episode airs to really get your most value for when you do a review on it. So I just skipped out on it, even though I do think that was the best episode of the season thus far. And that is counting Episode 5. I loved everything that we were doing, him getting everyone for the trial of 7, how it ends with Sir, I forgot his name, but the Targaryen saying, I will arrive with Sir Duncan, with the Game of Thrones music playing. Oh, I thought it was chef's kiss. Then we go into here to Episode 5. And I said on my immediate thoughts afterwards, which got a lot of traction, it was probably the episode that got the most attraction thus far, is that I was fully expecting to get a 30-minute battle in this one, because every episode is 30 minutes, which, apparently people think that automatically makes the show bad because the episodes are short, or makes an episode bad because of the length. I think every episode really depends on what does the story for it need to tell, and I think, honestly, 30 minutes has been pretty good for the show. But I was fully in content that, hey, we're going to get a 30-minute battle sequence in here. The Trial of 7 is going to be this epic battle that we are just going to have a heyday on. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be versatile. And at first it was like that. Like we're kicking off. Our Targaryen ally was talking to us going, hey, do this, don't die, of course. And, our two new knights, Sir Duncan, the person who got knighted right before, they're puking because they're fucking scared, which is rightfully so. And, when the thing kicks off, everyone else is rolling, but Dunk is just sitting there still because he is scared out of his mind. He is shell-shocked with the realism about what is going to happen. And then, he gets going, the battle gets hit, he gets stabbed, he gets impaled through the armor, he's off of his horse, he's pulling out, and, he's getting beat in the head, and then it goes to black. And I was like, damn, this is awesome. It stays black for a little bit, and I was waiting for the rumbles to come in, because then we're going to get ready for the next part of the battle. And we didn't do that. We went into a flashback. And in my immediate thoughts, I said, man, because again, I was ready for a 30-minute battle, that the flashback kind of put me down a little bit throughout. Now, rewatching the episode today, because, now that I could set my expectations right, I think the episode was executed to the best of its ability. I don't know where else I would have put this flashback. Again, overall, if I was in the chair, I would have done the 30-minute one and probably put this flashback somewhere else, because I do think it was necessary. Just to really solidify that Sir Dunk was always someone who just needed a little bit of an extra push. He's hanging out with this girl, and, who knows how they got connected and all that, but, he lost his mom. His mom is disappearing somewhere else. If she is alive, she ran away, or she got killed. And, they're kind of like these scavengers, they look for all these different things just so they can get by, and they're trying to get out of this area. She's the one that has to go, okay, you can stay here, but I'm leaving. If you love me, then you're going to come with me. And we're seeing how he met his knight that he esquired for, and how they came to be. And, while I'm watching, I'm seeing this girl, and I'm going, man, she's a hell of a performer. I think she was in the Dune TV series. What was the Dune TV series called? I forget. But, she was good in there, and she's good over here too. But while I'm watching her, even though I'm liking the character, I'm like, well, she obviously has to go in this episode, because where has she been this whole entire time, right? And, thinking of the Game of Thrones, like, well, clearly, the only reason she's not here is because she's dead. And sure enough, that is what happens. You see Dunk finally get in the fight after her throat gets slit. Still very sudden when she gets slit, by the way. And then, of course, his knight comes in, saves the day, and then he starts following him. It takes him a little while until the knight finally notices him and goes, okay, no, drink up, get up, come on with me. And then when he says get up, that's what gets Dunk going. Then we finally have our battle between Dunk and the Targaryen who started all of this. And they're battling. I really like the blocking of the fight as well. It really felt like they both understood what their fighting style was. Like, Sir Dunk is not Sir Dunk the Tall yet. This is truly his first battle. So, he's a little loose with it. He doesn't really know how to control his thing. He's just a brute, right? He's just Dunk the Brute right now. And he doesn't have any control of his fight. He's just throwing fists and hoping they're landing. While our Targaryen, he has the experience. And, he's ducking and dodging, really focusing on his legs and all that. Chopping the tree, if you will, if we were to call this a wrestling match where they had a slimmer wrestler face a bigger guy. That's one of the storytellings within their matches. Chopping the tree, get the person down to their knees. And, they're battling, and then Dunk, slices dick or something. I don't fully know. But he hits him pretty bad. The dad's trying to get to him. There's a deflection over there. They go down, and then Dunk, and again, to compare this to wrestling, kind of does the sleeper angle, right? Like, he falls asleep. His eyes open, so you're thinking he's dead. And I'm just like, no. They wouldn't kill Dunk yet. And, I'm trying to think. I'm like, I swear, the showrunner said he wants to do 5 seasons with Dunk and Egg, and then it becomes kind of an Egg-focused show later on after they have a little bit of a break. I was trying to remember that, and I was like, does this just become Egg's story? There's no way he's dead. No, that would really piss me off if he's dead. But no, they do, again, like in wrestling, the 1, 2, and he gets up at the 3 right before the bell rings. He gets up, they start fighting. He finally has control. He's beating him up using his brute force, and he goes, I yield. And then when he says yield in front of everyone, again, I thought this was perfect. He goes, I no longer make my claim. He can't yield in front of everyone, but he will say, I no longer make my claim. That's enough to call it. It ends over there. And now it's all about the consequences of the trial of 7, because while they're badgering him up, they're saying, hey, we'll do this to heal your wounds and all of that. Here comes our Targaryen ally. They're having a conversation. The helmet's the only thing keeping him alive, because once they take that off, you see the big hole that's over him. And I think it was his brother who gave him the blow. I think they said that in the TV show. So I'm kind of curious to see how his brother's going to react, because the way he's like, my son, and he's trying to help his son, but his son had to go one-on-one. I wonder how that's going to be now that his brother is dead and he's the one who delivered the final blow to him. And, Dunk is going to go, I'm so sorry, because he feels responsible because he was on his team. And now we'll see what happens in the finale. I have honestly no idea how we're going to wrap this up, because in a way, I kind of feel like we did, right? Like he beat the bad guy. He won. He's good. He's clean. What are the ramifications of that? I guess this finale would be more to set up a season 2, because again, from what I've understood, they want to do 5 seasons of this. And after the finale, we can have the discussion of, would this have been better as a 3-hour movie or as the TV show that it was? Because it was 6 episodes. Every episode is roughly around 30 minutes. Maybe some went a little bit over. So yeah, that comes out to about 3 hours. Would have been better stitched all the way through, or going through the way that we are. Right now, I kind of lean more towards the show, but again, multiple things can be true. I think the show is the length that it needed to be. I think they told the story that they needed to tell, and I think they hit all of the right cylinders. They had good tempo, they had good momentum. But I can also say, yeah, no, if you stitch this all the way together here, maybe you cut this out here, you cut that out here. Again, that flashback, even though I do think is necessary, is something that you can go, yeah, we probably could have cut that and we could have saved some time over here. And if this was a movie, would that have made it? I don't think so. But again, overall, I had a good time with this episode. I liked it more on the second time than I did the first time. I think all the battle sequences were really good. It just isn't my favorite episode of the season, but I am looking forward to next week. And I think that is the main point overall of a penultimate episode, right? It's just to make sure that you tune into that finale. And and this episode certainly did that. So yeah, comment below and let me know your thoughts on this episode. Maybe you feel the same way that I do. Maybe you are someone who I felt at the beginning, like, didn't really love it that much, and I'm not even sure if I necessarily liked it. Now I am full on, oh, I liked the episode, or maybe you did love it, and comment below, let me know those thoughts. Leave a like if you made this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button so it helps me grow to my YouTube career, and so that you could be tuned in for the finale next week. And of course, squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you. Also, squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.